Right, hello, and welcome to another edition of the DI Dashboard webinar. My name is Shawnee, and I am the training evangelist for Dealer Inspire. My job is to teach you everything you want to know about Dealer Inspire and all the great work that we're doing here, in on all the great tech and innovative work that we're doing here. So, just want to let you know a few things. This webinar will be posted on our website within 24 hours. Usually sooner, but I like to give ourselves 24 hours. And if you have any questions during the segment, you can send them via the chat board, and we'll also have a small little Q&A session at the end. So let's get right to it. Today, we are going to be speaking with Noah Aird. Noah is our lead senior web graphic designer, our senior graphic designer, and is also an amazing guy. And he is going to be telling us all about Dealer Inspire's design philosophy, how less is more, and how it helps you. Not only is it just about having a gorgeous website, but it's also about converting leads and all that great stuff. So now I'm going to go ahead and give you the controls here. All right, take it away, buddy.
Alrighty. Thanks, Shawnee. Excited to be here, of course. And like you said, I'm here today to talk about why our design philosophy is less is more, and how we use this to make dealers stand out in the automotive space. So move over, refrigerators. Here's what's cool: our websites. Now, the first point we are going to talk about today is responsive design and how these types of websites dictate a minimalistic visual approach. I'm not going to go into explaining exactly what a responsive website is, how it works, and why. If you need to, there are plenty of resources online you can reference. In short, though, a responsive website is a site designed and built to work across multiple devices or screen sizes, ranging from desktops to laptops to tablets to phablets, down to mobile devices. Now, because these sites need to adapt to various viewports, they need to be designed with white space in mind. I try to explain responsive websites as a living, breathing piece of technology. They need to be broken down into sections, have ample room so that when they scale down to smaller screen sizes, there's space for the content to go. Maybe kind of hard to see, but if you check out the small diagram on the slide, you can see the large sections that ultimately resize and stack depending on what device they are on. So if you look at the little diagram, you've got the top part A, there's B, C, D, E, F. If you look at if you can see the mobile version, you can see how they kind of shrink a little and stack in a different order. So there's a lot of space that needs to, a lot of white space that needs to be there for this kind of thing to happen. Now I'm going to pull up a real quick example site called Lexus of Edmonton. Now this site, by the way, is very special to us at Dealer Inspire. About 2 months ago, we hosted a conference at Google's headquarters called Rethink. Google, they asked our CEO, Joe Shira, to send us a few examples of sites, and this was included in the list. At the end of the conference, unbeknownst to us, Google's web design expert presented a thorough breakdown of how the site worked on mobile and gave it a perfect mobile experience rating, an A+. They also told us that they would now use the site to train other Google employees, which is awesome. I mean, it's always the biggest compliment to hear that Google's using our technology to train their employees. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, no, it does not.
So, um, anyways, if we take a look at the main search section over the video, we've got right here their tagline, Edmonton's #1 Lexus dealer, and their search fields. And you'll notice that there's a lot of white space. This is the focal point. There's a lot of breathing room on the sides. And if we scale this down a little bit, you'll see that the content doesn't change in size, but you've got all this extra space so that when you go down to a smaller board, everything fits. This is is very important to responsive design. It's very important overall. So you want your website to be fluid and consistent across all devices. Um, Also, I want to show you this section down here. We've got these four buttons. They're large. Text is large. There's a lot of breathing space too. Once again, these are sectioned up as well. So when you shrink down, they kind of shrink a little. And then once you get to right here, which looks like portrait if you're on a tablet, and then down to mobile, you see the buttons stack. So they're rearranging themselves, responding to um, the device that they're being viewed on.
Okay.
So back to our slide. Now, there are some cool new design techniques that have resulted from responsive or minimalistic design. Um, One of them, parallax or fixed background images. There's also full screen video and images and full width embedded Google Maps. Now, fortunately, I'll bring up Lexus of Edmonton once again because we feature all these things on the website. So go down here. This is an example of a fixed background image. It's a really cool technique. You got all this space to work with, so you see the background image kind of stays put while the content slides over. It's a really cool effect. A nice trendy thing we use a lot in our designs, and it's really elegant, and fun
That's the
overall.
that's the parallax scrolling, right?
This is actually a fixed background image.
Oh,
Parallax, yeah, parallax. A lot of people consider this parallax, but parallax is more as you scroll, different elements move slowly. So this is technically not parallax, but it's almost along the same lines.
okay.
hmm Down here, we've got it again in this VIP service experience. Up top, like I was saying, we've got the full screen video, which is super cool. It's almost like you're watching TV, but not really. You've still got the full functionality and controls of the website. Um, so really cool technique we love to use, and it's a huge fan favorite. And it's very effective with users that visit the site. It helps with their bounce rate. Down at the bottom, once again, we've got this full width Google Map. Really cool. It's embedded. You can drag it around. You can zoom in, zoom out, and if you're super tech savvy like we are, you can even style it, style it to fit the same color scheme as the website, which is really awesome. I believe right now that we are the only auto dealer website provider that is doing custom Google Maps, so I'm personally pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I haven't seen every single website there is, but I've only seen this on ours. I've never seen this anywhere else, and it's great for because it also reinforces the brand. So
hmm
it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
exactly. hmm So let's go to my next slide. I'm going to talk about a few, you know, some quick pro tips if you're going through the process of a redesign or a new design of a website that is responsive. Your input is important, but to get the best final end product, there are two things you should do before a design discussion. For one, go through, make a list of existing sites you and everyone involved like, and have those present before the meeting. And this will help the designer kind of see through your eyes and get an idea of the kind of style you like or where you want to go with the website. And second, and most importantly, make sure that you have every element of your homepage listed out and accounted for by all parties involved in the decision making. For example, if you'd like certified pre-owned featured on the homepage or a collision center, maybe you'd like to highlight parts that's important to your business. You need to decide what elements you want on the homepage beforehand, all of them, and then let the designer decide how those should look and where they should be placed. Changing sections around or adding new parts that were not mentioned initially after the first mock-up has been done, but it can compromise the overall design. And in total, the less room for revisions and error, the better the end product will come out. So we're going to move on to my next point, for less is more. And this is focusing, we want to focus on the conversion. Now, the bread and butter of any dealership site is obviously your inventory and moving vehicles. On the majority of our DI sites, we put the focus on getting to the VRPs or vehicle results pages and VDPs or vehicle details pages as easily as possible. And from there, we try to get leads using lead forms, third-party tools, etc. Now, we do this by putting search tools front and center on the home page and eliminate all other call to actions or distractions, which then funnels users down this path. If you see the example on the slide, this is a screenshot we took off Under Armour Volvo. So this is the most prominent thing you'll see. You can search anything with that smart search right there. You've got the drop down tab. So it really gets you right into the inventory, and it's the primary thing you're going to see. We also have the schedule service button. Service is also the secondary income most of the time for your dealership. So we've got those 1-2 combos coming at you. So essentially what we're doing is we're making the choice for the user once they land on your website. This is what you're going to do. You're going to look at the inventory. You're going to schedule service. I'm going to pull up the exact opposite of less is more, and this is a website. It's pretty funny. It's called Ling's Cars. Now, quick disclaimer, this is a real dealership website. It's actually very
Oh,
successful. I know. Actually very successful, at least from what I hear. I think they're based out of the UK. Simply that they're successful simply because of how bad and distracting the site is. It's famous because of its horrible design.
oh,
But
oh, my eyes.
yeah, it's terrible. There's lots of sounds and like look, we got chickens on the site. It's pretty strange overall. But that aside from the famous aspect of the bad design, this site is an absolute design and user experience nightmare, of course. The site is giving users way too many options to click on. It enables them to distract themselves from the real purpose that they're there to look at and buy cars. And this can also be very frustrating if they simply want to get to the VRPs or VDPs. You can see, I mean, there's two spots here that get you there. There's the cars and bands button, and that looks like it takes up maybe 5% of the clickable real estate. And then also the search cars here field, which you almost have to play Where's Waldo with to find it.
Yeah, where?
So
Yeah, I don't see it.
yeah, it's in the center. There's a lady holding like a microphone.
Oh, there's
It's
okay.
yeah, yes, exactly. So very hard to find. Um, So yeah, this is a perfect example of what not to do and how more is not more, less is more. Giving users less options to click also gives you more accurate analytics. Our sites are stripped down to the essentials, and we can analyze data a lot better, seeing how we get more purposeful clicks and more meaningful interactions. Now, for our last point, and this is I love to stress this is that your website should tell a tale. Um, it should tell a tale or act as an experience. To accomplish this, we play into responsive design when we build sites, and we feed the website to the user in the most easily digestible way by giving them less pieces to look at. Remember that you're viewing a web page. Focus on the word page, similar to how a book works. Imagine if someone gave you a bunch of pages and laid them out in no particular order on the ground. You wouldn't know where to start, and the story wouldn't really make sense. If the pages were bound in a book, however, you'd be reading them in the intended order and get the full experience. Now, speaking of, I'm going to pull up a site called Extreme Experience. First, let's take a look at their old site before we did the redesign. And this is using the Wayback One Machine. It's a pretty cool tool. If you want to see how websites look like in the past, you can do it on that. So just Google search Wayback One Machine, type in the address, and you can choose a date and see the old site. So this is Extreme Experience, their old site. You've got a really over-cluttered navigation, this slide. And then if you scroll down a little, this is where you get a good chunk of their information, but it's all jam-packed in there. We've got a video, we've got track dates, we've got buttons for their experience, their supercar academy, their corporate events. There's a lot of stuff to look at and going on here. So it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to pull up um, their current live site and show you how it does a much better example of feeding each piece of the story to the user. So starting off, we've got our full screen video here. This
Oh
does a
yeah.
good job. Yeah, super, super awesome. Um, this does a real good job of, showing a summary of exactly what the extreme experience is. You've got people driving exotic cars on a track, having a good time, waving to their friends or taking pictures, so on and so forth. So that gives you an overall general idea of what they are about. So scrolling down, let's actually go full screen real quick. You get the next piece of the story. Our garage is your garage. Extreme Experience has handpicked the finest supercars from across the globe just for you. They want you, this is the big, when they came to us, they said, this is the next thing we want to feature. We want to make it look nice and, stand out. So this is, large headline. This is all you're seeing. And then you've got right below that all the cars. So users, if they don't know what cars, what supercars they saw in the video, they can come here and say, oh, okay, you've got the Audi, and they can click into it and get a little more information in the vehicles if they'd like. If you scroll down a little more, they've got an advertising space, of course, and then you get to their track locations. So similar to what they had in our old site, which was just along the side and kind of goes unnoticed, you've got a whole section. It's in your face. You get to see all of them, and then we've even complemented that with a map, so you can see, oh wow, these guys are, across the entire nation. So it's really all these pieces are coming together and telling, I guess, a chapter of each story. So you're showing the same content, but in less chunks to kind of feed it to the user and give them an experience, a story. So these are the three main ideas behind our less is more philosophy. The dictation from responsive design. Second, focusing on the conversion. And third, telling a story by feeding each segment separately to the user.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, just from the extreme experience alone, seeing the old site versus the new site, I mean, you can really see where the storytelling aspect came into play. You could see where all that real estate actually enhanced the website. Like I think so many people are afraid of white space, as you mentioned, and try to put everything that they can in there. But that was actually an incident where you can see that no, you want to have some breathing room in there, so to create a better user experience, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Right. All right. No, well, thank you so much. You can go to the next slide for me. I want to thank Noah for coming out and discussing this with us. And I also want to thank you all for listening. Um, Please make sure at the end of this webinar that you go check us out at dealerinspire.com. And, we have actually some new content on there from our very own Joe Chura, who's got some great Blackboard session videos that are up. So please check us out there. Um, and also, let us know what you think about how these webinars are going and what you would like to see or hear. And go to po.st/DI survey. And yeah, just, give us a chat through the survey. It's fun, it's quick, just a few questions, and we'd love to hear from you. So, also make sure you sign up for our next DI dashboard webinar, which is going to be with Bruce Etzgorn, who's going to talk about optimizing the click. Um, you don't want to let that great content lose its power. Um, when you're posting the social, SEO gets all the glory, but we also need to look at social. So again, thank you so much, Noah,
No
and
problem, Shani.
thank you all for listening. Again, I am Shani, the trainer of technologies for innovative dealers such as yourself, and I will see you next week.